This is my timeline, my timeline. 2013.
What's good, everybody? It's Chan with Ants, and we're here today with
Gus The Savage. You already know what's going on, boy.
we'll be getting into his music, his performance, his music videos, and what you've been up to. I know recently you dropped your new video with Three False Prophets. And honestly, that's one of my favorite songs from you. Tell me exactly how did you meet Three False Prophet and how did the vision come in?
So I can't even exactly remember the exact way we linked up. I'm sure it was definitely through a mutual friend we have, my boy Steez. He's a producer. So that definitely has to be the way we linked up. I seen that he was in the area and I was like, I got to tap in with him. And the first video him and I ever did together was for Timeline. And that video came out really good. So ever since then, I've always had a great relationship with him. I've done shows where he's been the videographer and photographer. And he's overall a great person. Like anybody who works with him knows that he's a very, very good individual and he knows what he's doing. So when we linked up again for the Down For Real video, I already knew that it was gonna be crispy. Like it's like we're a power team when it comes to stuff like that. So definitely.
Got you. And was he the one who directed it, or did you also put your input into how the video wanted to be?
We both kind of like directed it in the same. He had more of a direction for it than I did. That was kind of like an on the spot kind of thing. Like I hit him up like, yo, because I hit him up the week before to do a video and I was like, my fault, I can't do the video. I got COVID. And then I waited like a week and a half, 2 weeks later, and I was like, yo, like I'm COVID free. Let's shoot this video. And we kind of did everything on the spot, but he kind of had an idea of where he wanted to take it. He went on and it ended up being what it is right now.
And was it based on real life situations that happened? Because I know like in the video, you're in the studio like recording a different song and you see her texting you, hey, I'm getting over it. And honestly, I've been in positions like that where it's just like, yo, what are you talking about? You're bugging, you feel me? And like you even said it, like you're bugging, like you're getting tired of it. Like, well, how did Down For Real come to play? And as well, how did that video come into play? Like, how did you see it?
So my idea for Down For Real, like my idea for all day comes from my experiences and also comes from my mind. Like I want to make a song that people are going to relate to. So that right there, what you just said, like I've been in a situation where I've gotten that random text like, oh, nah, what's going on? Like what you talking about? I wanted people to resonate with the song and I wanted people to resonate with the video as well. So that's why we went with the storyline of I'm in the studio, I'm recording a love song that's supposed to be happy. I get a text message from her saying, yo, sorry, I can't do it. And then from there, it's just like, oh, word, like I thought you was down for real. So that's where the whole song comes into play. But it was just something based off of, I guess, some of the things I have experienced, plus I added, some fictional things in there to give people a more relatable feeling.
And I see that most of your music is mostly like heartbreak music. Like, is that the type of music you're trying to share? Yeah, like bad music. What artists is actually wanted to do that as well? Go ahead.
So it's not what I want to do long term. It's what I've been experimenting with for the past like maybe year or so. And my biggest inspiration for making music like this is A Boogie. Like I've gotten a chance to work with A Boogie's brother Cyrus on a track that we recorded like maybe 3 years ago. His way of working plus A Boogie's way of working and J.I. too as well is another big influence for me. I listen to the melodies and I listen to what they're talking about and I'm like, yo, I have been through things similar to that. Let me transition that and make that into a song, make that into a story, then get a visual behind it so people could see that. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So like I said earlier, a lot of my music is inspired by some of them have been exaggerated a little bit to, like I said, to give that relatable feel. And some of the stuff is fictional. Some stories I just come up off the top of my head and I'm just like, this sounds like something that would dead ass really happen. This sounds like something that people will relate to. I'm gonna throw this on a beat and I'm gonna put it out there and I'm gonna see how people feel about it. I heard the beat and it just it inspired me to just make that type of song. Like I heard the vibe and I was like, there's no other type of song that can go to this. You could have made it a love song. Like I could have
Yeah.
turned that into like I love you baby type shit. But when you hear a beat like that and it matches an A Boogie vibe or a J.I. vibe, little TJ vibe, whoever makes that type of music, when you hear a beat like, I gotta write something emotional, or I gotta write something that's gonna punch.
Yeah.
So that's where I got the idea from for Down For Real. Like I heard the beat and I was like, yo, I have to write something that's gonna punch. Like people are gonna listen to it and they're gonna be like, oh shit, like this shit hit me hard. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't really inspired by an A Boogie song or a J.I. song. It was more so inspired just by whatever I thought about at the time.
Yeah, because like how you say you want this, like you want that line to punch out that, you know, stuck to her. One line that stuck to me from that song is this: "She broke my heart and now she's my enemy." Like how you said, like it's relatable. Like, you know, everyone has a situation
Right.
where like, you're with somebody and like I don't know, they flip on you and just like, damn, we went from being lovebirds to being enemies. Now we're strangers. Another song that I heard from you was "Better Things," and that song gave me like a Tory Lanez type of vibe. Like the beat was like a Tory Lanez type of vibe. I think you said thinking of what you and that person were supposed to be, still feeling from them. Like that song was pretty much like it was. I don't know if you were like reminiscing about them or anything like that, or how did that song come into play?
Basically, yeah, basically that's the type of song that is. That song is like you listen to that and it's a song about somebody who's like, damn, like I miss you and I see
Mhm.
what you're doing, but we could be doing this together. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
nothing's changed. My feelings for you hasn't changed. You told me we'd be doing better things, but nothing has changed for me. I said like it just all just comes from my head, bro. Like everything I write about, some of it is true, like I've been through it before, and
mhm.
some of it's made up. And I love when I make songs like that because I'm testing my versatility. So like I hear a beat like that and I'm like, ooh, this is a smooth beat. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? I know what I could do with this. I could make this a lovey-dovey, you know, oh yeah, I'm about to dedicate this to my girlfriend. Be like down for like, okay, now I gotta spread a little bit more emotion on it and make it sound like my heart is broken. Then on that EP2 is Emotional Damage. That was
mhm.
more of like a tropical type beat.
Yeah.
I wanted it to feel like a party, but at the same time, you know, I was saying some shit in there too, like just watch how you treated me, shorty, because it could go two ways. I could treat you the way you treated me. You giving me emotional damage. Like, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? So, relatable music is what I love to make.
Got you. And I know you did a few collabs. One of my other favorite songs was from I believe it was an EP from Baddest. I think the song was called Something Different. And you say, "Baby, with you by my side, best believe I'll make it." And like how you said, it could either go both ways. You could either make it together or you'll do it solo dolo and you're gonna grind from there. Was there someone on your side that you was like, look, listen, just hang on for a little longer and I promise you you're gonna see what everything's gonna pay off at the end? Or like what was going on when he was making something different?
So, during the course of making that album, I started writing that in, I'm gonna say maybe like May of 2021. And during that time, I had just broken up with an ex-girlfriend of mine.
Mhm.
And I just wanted to express my emotion in an album. So it was going to be called Bed of Roses. And I was gonna try to utilize that album to get back with my girlfriend. And then it turned into something completely different because then I started feeling for somebody else. And then the album ended up forming into something about that person.
Be like
And
that.
then things didn't work out there. So I'm like, you know what? If I'm gonna make this album, it can't have the direction of just like, yo, I'm gonna make these type of songs and that's it. Like I'm gonna have a theme for it. No, it has to be Gus the Savage personified. I'm gonna make a self-titled album and it's gonna highlight my versatility instead of highlighting what I've been through for the past 6 months. You know what I'm saying? I wanted that song to sound like I was coming from a headspace of I'm happy. I have this wonderful individual who's with me. And, you know, no matter what, like we're going to do this together and we're going to
Mhm.
be together for the rest of our lives. So I guess at the time of me recording something different, I still have my girlfriend, but I can't say that it was about her, because she always asked, I dedicated the song to you, but I can't say it's about anyone. I can say that it's something that I came up with so people can relate to it, people can listen to it and be like, oh wow, yeah, this is how I feel about my significant other, which is why I dedicated this song to her to begin with, because I'm like, this is how I feel about you. But yeah, that song wasn't really about anybody.
Got you. The next song, I know you also collabed with other musicians such as Gabby, and you made 2 songs with her, Pretty Little Face, and as well, Does She Love Me? I feel like Does She
Yeah.
Love Me was actually like a both female and a male's point of view of like a relationship and what was going on and what they felt from about each other. How did that song come to play, and how did you meet her?
So first of all, I've known Gabby for like ever. I went to school with Gabby. Her and I were in high school together. And since high school, I've always thought, we got to do a song, we got to do music, we have to do something. And she was always down. So the first time I linked up with her was 2019, and we did a remix to Pretty Little Fears by J. Cole and Six Black or Black or Slack, or however you pronounce his name. Yeah, so we did a remix to that song, and I wanted to put it on Apple Music, and I'm like, damn, like I can't put a remix on Apple Music. It's not my own. The only thing that I own is the lyrics.
Yeah.
So I ended up having the beat remade, and we re-recorded again, Pretty Little Face. So I took the same aspect of that song and I was like, making my own. So we made Pretty Little Face, and that is currently in the vault right now. I took it down because there was a whole shit. I got signed to a label. I dropped from the label. I was supposed to re-release it through the label. Never happened. But it'll be back up soon. When I linked up with her for Does She Love Me, that is inspired by, I was stuck in a position of like, it not the whole song isn't what happened, but the hook, like, does she love me? I don't know. That's what I was thinking about. So I was like, I'm gonna write a song surrounding that topic. Does she love me? I don't know. So I wrote my verse from the male perspective, and I thought about it. I'm like, yo, like, I want to write a second verse, but it wouldn't make sense. What would make more sense is if I wrote this song in the male from the female perspective. Instantly, first person I thought of, Gabby. Boom. So her and I, we always we sit down, we work together on what would sound better in the lyrics. So she did some tweaking, of course, and I did some tweaking, and the result is what it is now. Does She Love Me? I Don't Know, featuring Gabby Constantino. And overall, it's a beautiful song. Like, if you listen to it, and you're a male, you can feel the male perspective. If you listen to female perspective. So it's a song for both parties. You know what I'm saying? I gave it for the men and the women who are out there who are hurt, and they can hear a song like that, like, damn, does he love me? Does she love me? I don't even know. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's where that came about.
I like that. Another person I saw that you work with, and I, like you said, like, you do more than just singing and bag music. You did movies with Jay Trinity. How did that come into play? Movie.
That's my favorite song. Okay, so I found out about Jay by myself. I was on Facebook and I seen that he had dropped his 22 Southside freestyle, and I was like, yo, this man is fire. Like, I gotta work with him. So I think I reached out to him first, and then he told me to at the time, and we linked up, and I gave him the blueprint of what movie was at the time. The original beat was a YouTube beat, and during that time I was using YouTube beats a lot, because I'm like, yeah, like, SoundCloud is my primary spot, so as long as I'm not making money off the songs, I'm valid to boast them. So that's what it was. That became a SoundCloud song a year ago. A year later, I was like, yo, and I didn't want to buy the lease, because I feel like when it comes to YouTube beats, when you get the beat, there's a lot of people who have already used that beat in the past.
Yeah.
Which Down for Real is an example. There's somebody in the UK that has a video to that beat, and it's a completely different song. Like, so I was like, instead of doing that, I have a team of producers who make beats very well. So I hit up my boy, I got these vocals, my gems right here. Like, I need you to build something around this song. And sure enough, he built the new beat for Movie. And I dropped it on the 1-year anniversary of the original release. So best believe Three False Prophets is gonna film the music video for that song. It's still in the works a little bit. I want to schedule a set date to do it and have everything planned out for it. But that video is coming soon for sure. Shout out Jay Trinity. He's artist out of here. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of great artists, but he's one of the best, killing it right now.
Literally, I was about to ask you if you was gonna make a video for that, which is dope. I can't wait to see that, honestly, because Three False Prophets is really doing the work. I seen like you're the second artist that actually reached out to me that actually did a video with them. Another
no,
song,
shout out Lil Lucci. You know
yeah, shout out Lil Lucci, literally.
Podcast with y'all.
Thanks. Do you plan on working with Lil Lucci by any chance, or you just know from each other?
I'm gonna just listen. If you know, you know. You know what I'm saying? He knows, I know, we know. That's it. Stay tuned.
Say less. I can't wait to see that. Another person I know that you worked with was Zoe Master on Clueless, I believe.
Yes, Zoe Master Young Bull, my boy.
I got to meet Zoe Master because he's actually, I'm gonna interview him, but for the third list. He's gonna be following up. But how do you know Zoe Master, and like how did that song come into play?
I met him like 16 years old, which was like maybe like 2.5, 3 years ago. And it was for my song on an album that I was putting out. So the song was called Pull Up, and it was originally me and his brother only. And he came through, he listened to the beat, he's like, yo, let me throw a verse on there. And I was like, bet. This was at the time where I didn't say no to nobody. Like I was just like, yeah, let's all work together as a big family. Let's do it. He threw the verse on there, fire. To this day, he still hounds me. Video is still out, but the song itself is not out no more. He's like, bro, I need it. I need that song. Put it back out. I'm like, bro, chill out. We doing new things now. Let's just make a new song. Hence, where Clueless came from. He came to my stew in my crib. He was like, yo, I got a beat. Let's do a song. I was like, bet, you already know. Let's do it. And we did it. So Clueless, that's how Clueless came about. You know, we were all chilling in my crib one day, and he had told me beforehand that he had the beat. And I was like, mastered, sent it to him. And when he dropped it, you know, I had to, you know, I listened to it, of course. It's a fucking fire song. I listened to the entire Lil Zoe EP front to back. And when you interview him, just let him know that that was a fucking great masterpiece of an album. He knows, because I told him I'm proud of him, very proud of him. And he's going to be doing very big things in the industry as well. So be on the lookout for Zone Master Young Bull and the Zone Masters.
Oh, I agree on that because, like you said, I listened to that front to back. He even sampled Dora the Explorer song. Like I was like, how the fuck? Like I never seen that before. That was just like mind blowing. And then the moment I saw your name, I'm like, nah, this cannot be GTS. I'm like, is it? And then I see it. I'm like, oh shit, they really collab. That's dope.
I'm back on my video. Never was too good.
Yeah. So my next question is, what, like, from all the artists you've been working with, or even in the past, who was your favorite artist to work with, and as well, what was the favorite song that you came up with them?
My favorite artist to work with all the time, I'm gonna have to say Ty Soul. I don't know if you're familiar with Ty Soul, but I met Ty Soul when I was 19 years old, and I was doing shows at Stage West. And ever since then, like, we've grown such a great relationship, great friendship. When it in and out of music, like, I have had serious conversations with him before. Like, he's overall a great person. He's a dog trainer, so he does that good at what he does. So when it comes to my favorite artists to work with, definitely Ty Soul. Favorite people to work with, and my favorite song that I recorded definitely has to be Movie, because the way the engineer in there was working with us both was definitely a fun time. Shout out my boy Depp, who was the, I don't know if he's still in there. I'm sure, I think he moved out of there, but he was the engineer at Platinum Sound Studio. And he brought something out of me that's telling me like I was something in. and then I started belting the lyrics of the movie, and it just became such a magical moment, getting to work with Jay and getting to work with Depp and creating that masterpiece of a song.
Got you. So now we'll be discussing about who you are. So for a lot of people who don't know, you're GTS, aka Gus The Savage. How did Gus The Savage, the name, come into play?
So back in 2011 was when I started to like make music, and I was going under a whole bunch of different names, and then I stopped. I picked it back up in 2013, still using different names. And then in 2015, during that time, I was in a relationship, and I played a Straight Outta Compton remix that I did for my girlfriend at the time. And she was like, damn, my boyfriend's a savage. And I was like, yeah, Gus the Savage. And then I thought about it and I was like, wait a minute. That doesn't sound like too bad of an idea. So ever since 2015, I've been running with the name Gus the Savage ever since. And I've tried to run away from the name, believe it or not. Like I don't want to be GTS. I don't want to be Gus the Savage no more. I wanted to change my entire like image completely and just do an entire rebrand and start fresh. But every time I make a post about it, like, yo, I'm about to change my name, everybody's like, it's like, you solidified this. So I'm like, I guess you're right. So it's kind of stuck with me now.
Yeah, not bad. And how long you been doing music for? Since you said you changed your name at 15, I'm guessing it was 15.
No, I've been doing music since 2011. It's like, I'm gonna say like almost 11, 12 years ago, maybe 10 years ago. I don't know. I can't keep track. I know it's like maybe like 12, 10 years ago, whatever. Doesn't matter. It's been a long time since I started. And it's been a long ass journey too that I've recorded. Atrocious. I promise you, you'll never hear it unless I decide to put it in a documentary or something. But it's bad. And that's how it really started. Like, you know, nobody's good at what they do at first, but practice makes perfect. And of course, you progress and evolve in your career. And to watch myself evolve from where I was in 2011 to now, if somebody were to tell me back when I was like 12 years old, award-winning music artist, and people would love my music and love me for me, I'd be like, you're bugging. I'm going to be a WWE superstar and I'm going to be WWE champion. Because at the time, that's what I was focusing on. Like, I loved music and I loved trying to be a rapper because all my friends in the Xbox Live party, that's how they got me to rap, because they was rapping. So I'm like, if they can rap, I can rap. Fuck that. I'm doing it. But I always wanted to be a wrestler. But now it's just like everything is starting to come full circle. Like I'm doing a lot more. I just dropped an album like a couple months ago. I did it, the EP, a couple weeks ago. And overall, it's been a month since I dropped the EP. So just overall, I've just been living the music life ever since 2015.
That's dope. That's dope. And I saw like you're doing your own D Savage tour right now. How is that going for you? I know it's OPA. How you getting a lot of love right now, recognition?
Yeah, of course. Everywhere, like all the places that I'm performing at, I've either been there or I've never been there before. And regardless of whether or not I've been there or not, I make it so hard not to love me. You know what I'm saying? Like my energy is just so like positive and great. Like I get on stage and I don't fuck with the crowd and be like, fuck you, yeah, I'm the best in this area, like nobody's touching me. I get on stage and I tell everybody, make some noise. I thank them for coming. I thank everybody who came on stage before me or who's coming on stage after me. Very humble when it comes to performing, because, you know, sometimes when I'm performing, it might be at an open mic and these people, like, they're there to drink sometimes. Some people are not there to listen to the music. So when I'm able to get all their attention, it's wonderful and I appreciate it. So fuck, my brain just went all over the place. I forgot what we were talking about just now. Oh, the NEPA tour. It's been wonderful. It's been great. I get a lot of love everywhere I go. And the last show I just did was in Sugarloaf, PA for the spring market in the park. That was pretty fun. And the next one is next week at the V Spot for the Mercy Gang album release tour. Or on their album for a rock song, rock rap, Gus The Savage. So different type of shit that I'm doing that nobody wants to tap into. And that's why I feel like I'm so different from everybody around here. I definitely respect every single hip hop, R&B, pop artist, whatever in my area, Scranton, even though this area is more primarily rock. And as much as I hate that, I love the bands that I meet because they're so great and they're like awesome people. But just it's hard being a hip hop artist and R&B artist in this town, especially when everybody in this town doesn't really want to work with each other as much, and everybody's so stuck up their own ass to be like, I'm the best, I'm the best. No, I'm the best. No, we're gonna fight to see who the best is. Me personally, I don't give a fuck about being the best. I just care about making music and doing what I love to do, which is entertaining a crowd of people who love my music, and I love it just as much as I love it. You know what I'm saying? That's what I do this for. I do this for the love of music. I do this because I have a passion for it. I do it because eventually I want this to be my full income. Like I want all my money to come from this because this is my art. So that's what it deserves. And I feel like that's what this NEPA tour is going to do for me. I feel like it's going to get me into doors that I've never walked into. It's going to bring me to a new audience that has never seen my face, or it's going to bring me to a familiar audience who's familiar with my face. And overall, it's just a blast. I've been having fun ever since the start of it.
What do we expect to see from you? What other music videos or songs should we wait for? As well, where can we find you?
So as far as like new videos and new things coming soon, I'm still on the tour right now. So I'm gonna say maybe like after next Saturday's show, I have 3 more to go. I have the next 2 next month. The next 2 next week in May, and then the last 3 shows are in the rest in June. The movie, I have to have a meeting with Adam. I'm gonna have a meeting with him about my documentary Savage Takeover that I'm gonna be having, which is gonna be talking about my career thus far from start to now. And when it comes to new music and pretty much everything new about me, I always say the same thing: time will tell, because tomorrow is never promised. So I could be telling you all my plans right now, and then I go to sleep and I don't wake up the next morning. So only time, because a lot of big things are always coming soon. Pause, because a lot of people might need to pause on that one, but a lot of big things coming soon. Pause, and just stay tuned. My music is on every single music platform: Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, Tidal, Deezer. Overseas, in Japan, wherever, I'm on that platform. And then yeah, that's pretty much it. You can find me everywhere: Facebook, Gus The Savage; YouTube. If you want to connect with me on Snapchat, that's classified. You don't have to pay $5. Now let me stop.
Thank you for being on my show, and hope to see you in person and actually see you perform. And honestly, bro, like you said, like I really do see you going up there. You got some crazy vocals. Like besides singing, you could rap, and I'm down to see what you got for this rock music coming up now. So
yeah, it's a rock single with Mercy Gang that is gonna be on their album. I forget the name of the album, but I know that it drops next Friday. Savages. So very fitting title for the feature that is on there. You know what I'm saying? So stay tuned to that. You don't have to thank me, bro. I thank you for allowing me to be on your platform and interviewing me. I ain't nothing special. I'm just a local artist trying to make it out of the area he lives in with the art that he does. So I appreciate you for having me. I appreciate you for asking me all the questions, and I want to invite you to whatever show you see fit that you can come through. Bring your ass down. We'll have a good time. I'll have you straight in the VIP right next to me. We'll be valid.
That's what
You
I'm
already
saying.
know we turning up. 2022 is the year of